Okay, let's pick up again from the mitzvah of Yifas Torah. And here, the important thing that Ram clearly says, and he says it twice, that Tzivono is a shrano of Yifas Torah, al tashriya ardi shrano, and then he says bedin, and that's in the original Judeo-Arabic, bedin Yifas Torah. The bin Eish Yifas Torah. V'oma Yis'aleh v'reisa b'shivyo Eish Yifas Torah. וכבר הסברו משפטי מצווה זו בפרק ראשון מקדושין. So, as we pointed out last week, and I think it's an important point, especially because the translations don't reflect it. They translate, it's very interesting. Whether it's kapach, whether it's Ibn Tibin or Ibn Iyov, they translate Shirano and Amar as Sivono. And that's very odd that I should use different words. But say, okay, whatever it is, that's what it is. It's it basically is a law that you should do Kedini Atera. And that's what he says in Miyan HaKotzer. La'asois, Nuesh Chafalef, La'asois li'ifas Torah, kakosa b'Torah. And Protei Mitzvahs in Hilchos Malachim, or Mulchamos, din yifas Torah. It's a din. And as we pointed out, applying the Minchas Chinuch to say it exactly, but Shirano, there's no kiyum. It's just you're supposed to act according to the din HaTorah. And in other times we discussed, and it's an important point, even though the Ram says that mitzvahs HaTorah are tzivuyim, commands, and that's the whole Shmini is about. I think the Rambam has a premise which he never clearly enunciated, but if the Torah tells you dinim, the assumption is the Torah wants you to act according to the dinim. So what I surmise from this is that a shirana is like an assumed tzivui, but it's not explicit tzivui, it's an assumed tzivui, and it's a tzivui to act according to the din HaTorah. Okay. That's next. Now, since there's no kiyum, it's just to act according to the parsha of Kiseitse, and the whole parsha from the Dvom Chaf Aleph, from Yud Aleph to Yud Dalet, all the psukim describe the various stages of Yifas Torah, and the Rambam in Hilchos Malachim, El Muchamis, in Periches, Halacha Beis Lutes. And L'cheira, what it means is there's a heter to take a Yifas Torah, and there's no real mitzvah over here. And Torah is telling you het and dinim of how you act. And even though there are many different dinim in the parasha of if he wants to marry her, he doesn't want to marry her, what to do and how to do, it's all nimne as one mitzvah. Now, here I just want to make a point. Second. Yeah. Now, here is just a very interesting point. It says, Ki seitze la mulchomo, it's in Chaf Aleph, Yud, now going on. It says la mulchomo, ayabecho, v'sal Hashem lakecho b'yodecho, v'shavisa shivya. You were successful in the war, and you have booty. V'yis v'shivya ish spastaya, v'chashakta bo, v'lakachta l'chol isha. V'aveis al teich beisecho, v'gilches roisha, v'yosa siponeho, v'esira simla shivya me'aleho, v'yoshev v'secho v'ochsa savir v's'imo yerach yom. So whole seder. V'acha kein tovo eleho v'alta v'oisol l'chol isha. V'hoyo im loy chofatzta bo v'shilachta l'nafsho. Which all is part of the mitzvah. But interesting is, even though you have this concept of Shirano and the whole parsha, all the different dinim, whether you do marry, you don't marry, is all one mitzvah. However, the lavim are counted in the Torah. Umocho lo sim kareno bakosef, lo sis almer bo, tachas asher inisa. So it's an amazing thing. It's an amazing thing that Shirano is in when the Torah tells you dinim what you should be doing, okay? But if in the parsha of the Shirano there clearly is a lav, those lavim are counted separately. Now, 1 second. So 1 second. Yeah. Now you'll have minyan mitzvahs in Reish Samach Gimel and Reish Samach Dal Lois Aseh. You have a list like this: Reish Samach Gimel Sholim Ko Eishes Yifas Toya Shneim Mocholi Simkera Bakosef, and another lav Shaloi Lich Boish Eishes Yifas Toya Shivcho. You shouldn't have her as a shivcha. Lo Sisame boy should work her. Okay. So it's an amazing thing. In other words, you have a parsha, and it's called a Shirano, but the Shirano only is subsumed under the Shirano, the Hayros of Dinim, or what you should do. But if the Mefur Shalavim, they are counted separately. Okay. That is, I think it's a very important point. Now, the Rambam in the Vuchim, in Chelek Gimel, Perek Mem Aleph, claims that this mitzvah is to perfect midas, live over mokum snua, and to be sensitive to the emotions of another person, and to give her a month to cry for a family and a das. All these different things are Indian of being sensitive to the needs of others. And l'chera, what comes out clearly from this is that the obligation of midas are not only to a fellow Jew under V'aftarach Kamoicha, which is also only a Jew, but because of V'lachta B'drochav and Tzelem Elokim, as the Medrash in Parshas Bereshis that talks about that Klal Zeh Golda Mibizeh, the Kala Ben Azai, that the man is B'Tzelem Elokim is greater than the Klal Akiva, because if a man is a masochist, maybe he should be able to act that way to others. And because B'Tzelem Elokim L'miato Macharif L'miato is the Tzelem Elokim. So here also l'chayim midas, the sensitivity to a non-Jew is also required very clearly. It's not after. It doesn't mean you have to want for him what you want for yourself. You have to be sensitive in these and act to them in a humane fashion, which midas would require. Okay, now I'm not sure if I touched on this. I started this last week. I didn't finish it. Here, so that we can talk a lot about the Fastaya and Mishnah Torah and here and there, but since the basic format is minyan HaMitzvos and what the Ram says in Sefer HaMitzvos, the Ram doesn't go through all the various dinim, and that's what the mitzvah is. The mitzvah is to act according to the various dinim. And that's where the mitzvah is. But then Torah, and those that are interested in the dinim, they open up Hilchos Malachim Milchamis and they look at the dinim Periches. Now, the Ram Hilchos Malachim Milchamis in Periches Halacha Aleph to Halacha Tes quotes together two things. There's a heter of Chalutzei Tzovo, when in the middle of a war, the bottom lane Koltuv, they're allowed to eat non-kosher items, and the heter Yefastaya. And this idea of Chalutzei Tzovo, Chazal learned it from the Pasuk of bottom lane Koltuv, Asher L'Voreisa, Ubois Chatzuvim, Asher Lo Chatzavto, Chomim, V'Zeisim Asher Lo Nototo, V'Yochalto V'Savoto, Vorim Vov Pasuk Al. So the interesting thing is that the Rambam decided that Chalutze Tzovo is a mitzvah min minyan. I mean, sorry, that Yifas Toya is a mitzvah min minyan, and Chalutze Tzovo is not. Chalutze Tzovo is a heter amal chosasuus, and it's not a mitzvah. So maybe you could have said that the heter chutz etzovo is from midas hatera, and therefore, according to Shiur Sheni, it should be a minyan mitzvahs. The Ram says very clearly that Yud Gimel midas are not mitzvahs min minyan. The problem is that the Ram says that bottom malain kol tuv is a kabbalah. Mipi Shmua. The Ram in Hilchos Malachim u'Milchamis per ches halacha aleph mipi Shmua lamdu u'bottom malain kol tuv alfei chazirim u'kiyetz behen. So it means you're allowed to eat chazer as when you're during the Milchama. So let's go back and try to evaluate this. So the question is, why did Yifas Toya come into the minyan mitzvahs? And Chalutzi Sova didn't. But the truth is, both Chalutzi Sova and Yifas Toya, there's no tzivui, but there's a law in the Torah of a heter ma'achos and a heter, whatever heter there was in Yifas Toya. Amazing thing that the same thing which the Torah said, Kanoim Poigin Boy, that Boil Aramis Bifahesia is Kanoim Poigin Boy, B'Shas Mochomo, B'Tzino is Mutter. So, therefore, as we said, that Yifas Torah is a Shurano, not a Mitzvah Megillah, because there's no Tzivui. And we pointed out that there's a mitzvah that you should act according to the laws of the Torah, an assumed command. The question is, what? Let's go over it again. Mipi Shmua lomdu ubotim maleim kol tu is alfe chazirim ukiyetz behen. So the question is the Torah saying that this is pshat in the posuk, or the Kabbalah is saying there's an allusion over here to a heter mipia Kabbalah? And maybe it's the latter. we have a similar thing that the Ramban claims is a mitzvah and a minyan about when you have a milchama to always leave the ruach revius to let those who want to run away from the milchama. And the Ramban counts in minyan and mitzvah, the Ram doesn't. And there also, there's no Heirah in Torah Shebiksav, but there's a Kabbalah, which is not a Pirish of the Pasuk. You look in Hilchos Melachim Ulchamis, Perek Vav Aloch Zayin, Kishitzor and Ar'ir L'Tofsa, when you surround the city and you want to capture it, Ein Makifin Oisa Me'al Baruch Haiseho Elo Misholosh Ruchaiseho. You only surround it by 3 sides, not 4 sides. Menichen Mokoim LeBereach Ulkol Mishiyitzel Imolet Al Nafshe. Anyone who wants to save his life, you're very humane, let them run away. Shenema Vayitzba'u Al Midyon Kashetziva Hashem Es Moshe. Mipi Shmuel Lomdu Shebekach Tzivohu. There was the tzivui. This pshat in Posik that there's a tzivui to leave. It's telling you a story of what was Sivo, which the Torah doesn't tell you. So maybe similarly, the Ram can't count as a mitzvah. Maybe you can only count. You see, if you can count the Pirush Makubal by itself as a mitzvah, let's assume you can. I'm not 100% sure about that. But over here, I'm not sure it's a test case, because both of these cases, it's not ki'ilu, that's the pshat in the pasuk, kashet tzivo. It's an allusion to something else. That there's a tzivui balpeh that you have to leave ruach revius open. Or there's a Kabbalah that the b'shas Muchama, that the Torah has an illusion of bottom lane kol tuv to a heter, but it's not like Yifas Torah, where the Torah clearly says what that is. So this is not minyan mitzvahs. Just for edification, you shouldn't come and tell me that the Rams Mipi Shmuel in Mishnah Torah is always a Pirush Makubal, and that's what he means. And a Pirush Makubal is only Pshat Posik, and it's Berech, because there's no hech to say such a thing. Because the Rambam of Mishnah Torah, at least I found in one place, that the word Mipi Shmuel can refer to Kabbalas Balpeh that are not Pirush Makubal. The Rambam in Akdama to Mishnah Torah, Ram says the following: El shebechol dor v'dor, roish bezdin oinovi, shoy b'oisado, kaisev la'atzmoi zichro in hashmois yishoma meraboiso, v'hu melamed al peh b'rabim. But he can't use it to teach from, because the Ram learns that Dvom Sheveh Balpeh Talom B'Ksav is in the Mesorah. You can't teach, the Baal Mesorah can't teach Torah Balpeh Mitoch HaKsav. This is not negate, I'm just explaining the words mean. V'chein kol echod v'yachod koisev la'atzmoi k'fi koichai mi biurei ha'Torah u'mi halochos k'mo sheshoma u'mi dvorim shenischatshu b'chol dor v'dor b'dinim shelo lomdu mipi hashmua ela b'mida misholosh esrei midos. So it means mipi hashmua is anything which is a Kabbalah. It could be halacha Sinai, it could be Pirush Makubal, it could be Stama Kabbalah, but Piashmur is a Kabbalah. Yud Gimel Midas, the Rabbanon used the Midas which were given at Sinai to interpret Torah Shebiksav. That's not a Kabbalah. The Kabbalah is only the Midas. But the heter of bottom line Katuv is not a heter of Yud Gimel Midas, but it's a Kabbalah. And similarly, the din of Ruach Lidvi is also a Kabbalah. But both of them are not minyan mitzvah. I've suggested that it's not a Pirush Makul, it's not Pshat and Torah Shebiksav. Okay, next mitzvah. HaMitzvah Hashtayim v'esrim Mosayim. He shetzivonu legaresh b'shtar. Al kolponim. So this al kolponim is both in Ibn Tibin and Ibn Eoy, but I assume much better is what Kapach says, legaresh b'shtar b'dafka. Kishenitza legaresh. V'omer yisale v'kosav lo sefer krisis v'nosam biyodo. Ukvais boyer baru mishpatei mitzvah zo goitzaloyma din gerushin v'shleimus mesechta hamechuberes lezeh goitzaloyma meseches git. Now, the first point, and probably the most important point, is the Ram here at the beginning of this mitzvah says Tzivonu is Amal. This is a mitzvah gila. It's not a shrana. So what it means is, if someone wants to divorce his wife, then there's a mitzvah. And a mitzvah gila, mitzvah muchletes, legarish b'ksav, b'dafka. And l'chera, since the Ram calls it Amal, I assume that someone who is Megarish, who wants to Megarish, there's a Kiyuma mitzvah. There's no Kiyuma mitzvah to Megarish, to Mekayim the mitzvah. It's only he wants to Megarish. But I assume there's a Kiyum because it's an Amal. The Minchas Chinuch, who's not aware of this Arabic issue, the Ramesh Rano and Amal, assumes that the portion that both Shchita and Gerushin are mitzvahs that don't have a kiyum. I'm not sure that the Ram would bear this out, because the Ram calls both Gitin and Shchita. He calls it an Amal. Okay, good. So that, I think, is an important point. One could ask, not sure exactly how potent the question is, but since Gerushin is the HaMitzvah, so and a mitzvah sheyesh bo kiyum. So why don't make a bracha on gerushin? So the Rishonim say that Medina beteres the mitzvah's gerushin, you should have made a bracha. But Chazal were not misaking the bracha for a separate reason. The Avodrom discusses this in Birchas HaMitzvos, Umishpateim, Shuval Rav Yosef, Ibn Palat. So that the son of the Mashaleach, this Bavera, I don't know if he comes there, Gershon is, but whatever this is, you can look at him or whatever, embrace means you don't make a bracha, but it's a regular mitzvah. And I assume there's a kiyum. The chinuch I pointed out to you, the Minchas Chinuch assumes as though portion, there's no kiyum mitzvah gerushin. Minchas Chinuch a mitzvah tov kuf ayin ches, v'lo emna lichtev ma she'ola al daiti, v'lo hevesiv b'kur habechina. Yodua, the Yibam mitzvah say, lo kmo gerushin, v'toyim v'nitan u'kedayme, the dine ha-mitzvah, heim ha-mitzvah, lisnai kach, and he seems to call gerushin ashrana. Avol einoi mikayim mitzvah klal. In gerushin and toyim v'nitan, because they're both shran. It's not true. So shran, toyim v'nitan is certainly a shran. But the Minchas Chinuch equates gerushin to toyim v'nitan. He's saying that gerushin is a din. Okay, next. So according to this, that a husband who wants to divorce his wife, there's a kiyum mitzvah to do it through a shtar gerushin. And if someone wants to eat basar, there's a kiyum to do it through shchita. However, the termination of ish is through chalitza. That's a kiyum. According to the, you would also agree, I assume, the Minchas Chinuch, or whatever it is, all these are kiyum according to the Rambam. All of them are shran, all of them are amar. There's amar of gerushin, amar of shchita, and amar of chalitza. Now, this amar, excuse me, these words, al kolponim, are very odd. The let me read it again, both in Ibn Tib and Ibn Iyod. He shetzivonu legaresh bishtar al kolponim ki shenirtza legaresh. So So does it mean legarish b'shtar al koponim shenitza legarish, that the mitzvah is only when he wants to legarish, or legarish b'shtar al koponim b'dafka? It's a very strange word. Al koponim was less kapach says kedafka ki shenitza legarish. I have to look into this. The language of al koponim is very difficult, and it's hard to understand. From the in context, what's going on over here. It's hard to see this translation. Okay. Here is one more interesting thing. The Rambam says something at the end of the mitzvah over here, which is a little, is unexpected, let's say. The Rambam writes, he just said that the mitzvah of gerushin is an amal. Okay. That means that it's a mitzvah gila. And not a din. And then here, at the end of the mitzvah, he says, Kva hisbaru, mishpatei mitzvah zo, goitzeloima din gerushin. What do you mean din gerushin? B'shleim b'sech, zamu chuberes l'zeh, goitzeloim b'sech as gid. So maybe the word din over here, especially the Ram quoted at the end of the halacha, he didn't say at the beginning of the halacha that it's a din. He said, "Tzitzivon legarish b'shtar." It's a poshet amal. So maybe the word din over here, and you understand the Ram didn't use the word shrana, he used the word din in the Judeo-Arabic. In the he wrote it din dal yud nun. So maybe the Ram means that the Ram sometimes can call the word din, even though it's an amal, if it has many chalok. So here, get has many chalokim. There's ksiva and the sina. And similarly, we find this idea of din motzi shemra. And he says, Kloima any alama alada almalno. So he calls it din motzi shemra, and he calls it amal. So the question is, what's going on over there? So there is the same type of thing. You have an amal, and he calls it a din. So maybe that's also what he's doing over there, and that means that it has many chalokim. Motzi shemra. There's malchus and rishoye Aseh. There are many parts of the mitzvah. However, over here, you can interpret it a whole different way. It has nothing to do with Moti Shema and nothing to do in general with the Ram's word Bedin. See, you notice what the Ram did over here is quoted this at the end of the mitzvah. Is after he finished and he quoted the pasuk, and he has a mitzvah kosel sefer krisis, but nosam biyodo. He says ukva hispire mishpatei mitzvah zo. So the dinim of this mitzvah, right? What to learn gerushin b'shleimus. But the dinim, I don't know what he says. The dinim. So he's not interested here in telling you anything. He's just telling you that the din of gerushin on the Masechta Mechuberes law, which is Masechtas Gittin. He's not telling you anything about the mitzvah. And the word din gerushin means mishpatei mitzvah. So the chayra, what happened over here, according to the first approach, was independently true. The Ram calls the Kosel Sefer Kris must be order. L'chayra, there are two parts of the mitzvah: this ksiva and the sina. The same way the Ram in Church Days says that hafrosha of trumas ma'asos or whatever truma or ma'aser, whatever it is a mitzvah, and the sina is a mitzvah. But since the seder with one mitzvah, it's one mitzvah in the minyan, and here the ksiva and the sina is one mitzvah. The mitzvah is gittin. So you could have said, but the Ram's not going like that, I don't think. You could have said that the mitzvah is only the Nesidus Aget, and the Ksiva is like Akdomo. And similar to Shiur's Yud, where the Ram says that the Asiyas Shemen of Shemen Lamor or the Asiyas Lechem upon them, they're Hechshem mitzvah, which the Torah discusses, which are not counted. You could have said here also the ksiva is not part of it, but Ram seems to put ksiva here in the mitzvah, which is an interesting observation. And he says, what's a loima din gerushin, which we explained. And b'shleimus. B'shleimus means that all the dinim magitin are found in the Masechta called the mitzvah of gerushin on the Masechta called Gittin. B'shleimus, it has all the din. And the Masechta HaMechuberes Lezeh means this Masechta is kshura to this mitzvah. It's connected. It's logically intertwined with this mitzvah. Okay. Next. That is Mrs. Gerushin. Now, next. Here comes the mitzvah of Sota. Mitzvah of Sota. A mitzvah sholosh v'eschim u'mosayim. Now, he shetzivonu. What is this tzivonu? The Ram says it's a shorana. Al tashriya al legresh shorana. So it's not a mitzvah gila. There's no kiyum in Sefer. And it's a shran, it's a din. And he goes over it again. Shetzivonu, shrana, bedin Sefer. It's a din Sefer. And that's the mitzvah. And it's the law in Torah Shebiksav of what's done with the Sefer. Buramo Yisale, ish, ki siste ishto. Vayizbaru mishpatei mitzvah. Pulam, eich yashke oiso, v'eich takriv korbono, v'zulas ze mitanaeho, mesech mechuberes lezeh, which is explicitly designated for this mitzvah, and the mesech the Ratzalem mesech Sefer. Okay. Now, so the chayra again, since this mitzvah is a shrana, there's no kiyum mitzvah, and it's not a mitzvah gila. In minyan mitzvah kotzer, he also seems to go like this. He says in mitzvah reish chav gimel minyan kotzer, la'aseis l'seita kiterasa, means to go according to dinei ateh. Shenema v'osa lo hakein es kol hatera hazeis. Okay. Now, this laseis in mina kotze laseis l'seite kiterasa. You find mina kotze in mitzvah kursadi laseis b'milchemes u'rishus kemishpat akosu batera. And here also laseis l'seite kiterasa kemishpat that's like kemishpat akosu batera. Kenema kisika v'elir. Mir mitzvah kotze reish chaf aleph laseis lifasteya kakosu shenema v'risa b'shivyo eisha shifasteya. So kiterosa means kerosa kosu, and they all shranas. And pote mitzvah l'chuseita lasas l'seita kiteres haknos hasedura batera. According to the Torah. L'chera, now that was interesting. And I want to just go back to this. Now, Here, I just want to add something. So this is a shran, correct? Now, let's just see something. The Rambam quotes a pasuk here in Reish Chav Gimel. He says, "V'hu omroi yis'ale ish ki siste ishtoi." So ish ki siste ishtoi is the first pasuk in the whole parasha. So l'chreira, what the Rambam is saying is that the whole parsha, from beginning to end, is one long shrana. And what it also includes, this will be important, it also includes Kinu and Stira. The whole parsha, Kinu and Stira, everything the parsha, the mincha, the dos, the whole parsha is one long shrana. Now, the chinuch seems to say that the mitzvah Sotah is a mitzvah regila, a normal mitzvah. The Rambam, the chinuch in mitzvah shin samachay, lohavio isha hasoita el hakohen sheyase lo lahavi hasoita el hakohen. It seems to do something. It's a normal mitzvah. Sheyase lo kimishpat hakosev oleho beparsha. Ve'oiva al zeh bikini liishto v'nisto v'lo yevio el hakohen. La'asis lo k'maaseh hakosev beparsha bitul aseh zeh. So l'cheri is the mitzvah to bring to the kohen. It's a whole new story. And if you look at the Minchas Chinuch there, he also assumes that the mitzvah of Sotah is a normal mitzvah. Now, here comes the interesting thing. So remember the diuk in Rambam that the mitzvah is a shrana and it's the whole parsha, from the beginning of the parsha. The Ramban, if you recall, in Shirish Aleph, he brings various disagreements among Tanoim, and he says whether something is chayv or rishus, and he says that the nafkamina is whether it's a mitzvah minyan or not, and he's wondering how, if this tayar mitzvahs, how can I have a machlos Tanoim about it, and why doesn't the Gemara say that? How does he deal with tayar mitzvah? How does he deal with tayar mitzvah? Okay. So in the Ramban's discussion there, he quotes a machlokes Tanoim v'kine es ishtoi, where it's chayvo or rishus. Uma shehevi oisi lidei sofik mipnei shemotzino machlokes b'gemara b'psukim rabim im heim mitzvah rishus mehem mashom b'seches Sotah v'kine es ishtoi Diver Rabbi Yishmael, Rishus. Rabbi Akiva Omer, Chayva. And the Chayva, what the Ramban means, is only according to Rabbi Akiva, that Bekina is a Chayva, that there's a mitzvah of Satan meaning on mitzvahs. But if it's Rishus, there's no mitzvah. According to the Rambam, the whole question doesn't start, because the Ram learns this mitzvah is shrana, and l'chera is whether it's a chayva rishus, It's a loss akosu, and it's a mitzvah and a minyan. And the Ramban himself has all the shranas. He only takes the shranas of Tuma, and for whatever reason, and then Aforos the Dolim, but Toim V'Nitan, and all, and then Shoyel, did Shoyel Mechinom, the Ramban counts them in the mitzvahs. So this also should be. So I'm not sure what the Ramban wants and what is kashi. And certainly, according to the Chinuch, that the mitzvah is a mitzvah regila, even if you don't count kinui, you still have to count the mitzvah of all the kain. I'm not sure exactly where the Ramban's standing is. List like that. This comment is a very interesting comment, but taken, if you look in context, you understand it looks very good. So should we not give it a mitzvah? But if you think about it over here, it becomes very odd. We don't know what happened exactly. Okay. Mitzvah Hashem, I guess next week. So let's start with we'll pick up Blineda, the mitzvah of Malchus. Reish Chav Dalet. Blineda.